Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv. I finally got my guest in the seat right now, man. Aubrey, what's good with you, man?
I'm coolin', man. How's everything with you?
Man, everything's love, man. Well, you already knew my epic last part of the day earlier because you ran into me towards the end of it. I'm like, man, I done ducked rain. And the crazy part is, I told T-Mobile, I said, the minute y'all correct this, the rain gonna stop. I'm already soaking wet. The minute they handed me that box, I looked outside and it was nothing but sun. Nothing but sun, man. It was a lot of running in rain and just being hot. But I'm blessed to be here because I've been looking for this interview for a while. Thank you for being in the seat today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Look, man, let's go ahead and get this started with our normal first question, man. Like, I know who you are, but for those who listen to the show later, those who are watching the show who don't know you, who is Aubrey-Logan Holland?
I'm the CEO and chairman and co-founder of Blue Dream Industries, LLC.
Yep.
And I'm the president of the Georgia chapter of the Cannabis Diversity Council and Alliances.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. You know, I've been wanting to, learn a little bit more about Blue Dream, learn a little bit more about the Georgia Cannabis Diversity Alliance. Excuse me. Am I saying that right?
No, it's the Cannabis Diversity Council and Alliances. I'm the president of the Georgia chapter.
Oh, Georgia chapter.
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
it,
he was close.
Part of it. But yeah, I've been wanting to learn a little bit more about that. But I definitely want to learn more about the business side, man. Because the more I see about you, the more I'm like, yo, this dude really has his hand on not just in cannabis, but a lot of businesses. Like, he's working in a lot of different areas, and I feel like he's the type of person who could shed knowledge for a lot of people who don't fully understand when it comes to raising money, when it comes to doing a lot of things like that. So I thought I brought my man on here to talk about how he found himself in the cannabis industry, how Blue Dream got started, how you found yourself with the Cannabis Diversity Alliance and all that other stuff, man. But let's start off with the first question. How did you find yourself in the weed? How did you find yourself in cannabis? Excuse me, I don't want to say weed.
Shit, man, I've been a consumer of bud for 20 years.
Damn. Okay, so you've been supporting local hustlers for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Man, when was the first time you consumed?
I was 14. I'm 34 now.
Bro, yo, all y'all beat me. Like, even Matt Barnes said that. Yeah, I've been smoking since I was 14. It's 21. I was 21 first time I tried to hit anything, man. So what made you pick it up at 14?
I took up a lot of martial arts, took up boxing, basketball. So I be having anxiety when I used to hit the court. Okay. I played center. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like you getting out there and playing in front of all them people. Okay. I hit a joint before the game and I just, I'd be in my own zone.
All right, you is not alone with Allen Iverson. Yeah, you are not alone, man. So you took it upon yourself to kind of treat your own anxiety, because I can understand that being a basketball player myself, that when you step on the court and you start seeing those people around you and everybody cheering against you, that's a whole nother feeling, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a level of anxiety most people don't fully get.
Yeah.
So you caught that early. Yeah,
and then it was like, this is my neighborhood. I come from Western New York, Rochester to be exact. So being right smack dab in the middle of everything, you're exposed to everything. It's just like, everybody. I mean, not on a follower tip though. Yeah. But it just is like, I'll experiment with it.
Stuff happens, especially when you in like Rochester, Buffaloes, and all that, man. Like that, those are like heavy trafficked and like drug areas too. You know what I'm saying? So you bumping into a whole lot of different things on top of that. So I'm glad you chose weed over something else.
Oh yeah, and the thing about it, the good thing about it, being involved with it at an early age like that, is like, it just is. It was like, you don't really. You know what I'm saying? When you get exposed to something early, you don't really go crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of time we get exposed to something later on, we go, wow, like, man, I gotta have it all the time. But I just was like, I'm cool. I hit a joint every now and then. And even now, to the point where I might go 2-3 days without, or I have my cartridge. I don't always just hit a joint, So it's just I'm more mellow with it because I got exposed to it so early.
That's what's up, man. All right, so off rip, let's talk about Blue Dream Industries, because what I love about you is my man brought paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wanted to discuss this LLCs, these trademarks, all this stuff, man. But first, before we even get into all that, what is Blue Dream Industries?
Blue Dream Industries, well, Blue Dream, I got two co-founders in the company.
Okay.
Shout out to PJ Nomad and International L. And so Blue Dream is all three of our favorite strains. Okay. I got exposed to Blue Dream out in the warehouse district in LA back in 2013, and I loved it. I love a strain that give you a creative feel. You don't feel laggy. Like I don't like smoking indicas during the day because you be dragging. You don't want to get nothing done.
Me either.
But just I was just like, when I get into the cannabis industry for profit, definitely want to put the name Blue Dream and associate that with it. And then it's such a popular strain that we ain't had to spend a dime on SEO. We dominate like the first 6 pages of Google.
Say word.
You know what I mean? So what our whole goal is for those, I don't know if, a lot of people don't know what LVMH is, but LVMH is a big French parent company, big conglomerate that owns Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, Sephora, Tag Heuer, a bunch of brands. So we always say that, you know, we're building the LVMH of cannabis. You know what I mean? Like we want to. Well, when I'm not even gonna say we want to. We own 30 brands right now under our holding company, under Blue Dream Industries LLC. And the whole thing is like, you know, we're bringing premier brands to the marketplace, and our thing is fashioning ourselves similar to like the cannabis LVMH.
Got you. Now, what I do know is you do reside in Atlanta, but y'all do business outside of Georgia.
Oh yeah. Well, in the Buckhead Financial District is where we have our United States headquarters. We have an office in Toronto. We have 7 offices around the globe. We're the first cannabis company to do that, ran by 3 urban cats, so that's definitely exceptional. 6 of our offices are satellite offices. But we was the first cannabis company to stamp the globe with office on every continent, because it's just like there's hemp activity going on in South Africa and like Hong Kong and Thailand that people don't know about. Hong Kong, actually Thailand is about to they're doing some stuff with recreational and medical marijuana laws. So it just we tap into all these things. We like, man, we want to hit these markets before other people do.
Yeah.
So it's essential to have a footprint in different parts around the globe, because people always say, why y'all ain't in Colorado? Well, I never want to be like arrogant, but I'm just blunt with people. I had some success with my nutritional supplements brand that I co-founded in 2012 called Elite Alchemy, right? In 2015, we co-sponsored Legacy Fighting Championships, their LFC 40. It was aired here in Atlanta on Mark Cuban's Access TV network. It was aired to 90 million people around the world. Bro, after that, I looked at the business game different, because it's like we had an office here in Atlanta and an office in Sao Paulo, Brazil for that company. We had our products and stores in America and South America, Brazil and Colombia to be exact, right? As black people, when we travel to other countries just on vacation, we see how different we get treated. And we like, man, we get treated like gods, you know what I'm saying? But when you go and you do business in another country, it's way different than that feeling of just traveling, because you get treated like the king that you are, in them spots. So it's just like, going and setting up, divisions of your entity in other parts of the world, man, you experience success that you'll never experience in America. You see some music artists, like people like Blue Cantrell. They go gold here, but then they go on triple platinum in Belgium or somewhere.
Yeah, we was talking about Blue Cantrell.
You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What a random name to mention.
Or she's just one of the people that just came to my mind. Like, just different people that they might not really pop in our eyes in America, but they 10 times platinum in Amsterdam or something.
Hit 'em up style still playing in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Like that's still happening.
Shit, Ja Rule still.
Bro, we swear on that.
Ja Rule still doing sold out shows in Europe.
Not for nothing. I felt like Ja Rule could have been the first rapper who could have had a residency in Vegas until the whole 50 Cent thing happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, the sing rap thing, I didn't think that was gonna die ever. And I'm like, he has enough hits. I really feel like he could be shirtless in Vegas for like months. You know what I'm saying? And really draw a crowd.
But you still got people over there like in Germany and spots like that. People got painters love tattoos going to see this dude, and they out like they going crazy. Well, minus when he had, what was that joint they just had, that festival, that was kind of bad publicity. But anyway, dude still got longevity. That's what I'm just saying. It's just like, people always say, well, how come y'all doing cannabis and y'all in Georgia? This is just where our United States headquarters is. We looking way beyond that. I don't want just one state or one country money.
Plus, don't let them play you. Like, we got a lot of shit jumping in Atlanta. Like, case in point, CashColorCannabis, naming a black media outlet in a recreational place. I'll wait.
Exactly, especially one of them that's bringing the real.
Basically, man. Lurch is confused. Shout out to my man Lurch. Lurch is like, Ja Rule sold out shows. Wait, he is confused.
Hey, he still be selling our shows in Europe and Japan and places
somebody's
like that.
paying Ja Rule to do something. Like, I'm not not even gonna halfway pretend like that ain't happening. Somebody's paying Ja Rule some money to do something. Like, that's same thing with Chingy. Like, Chingy is doing shows. Like, somebody's loving the way you do it right there. Somebody's doing that right now.
Chingy just had like a big tour like in like New Zealand and Fiji and a bunch of other, in Australia.
Bro, places where nobody ever goes, go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like how, like, even how like Yo Gotti and them, now we talking real music shit. Like how Yo Gotti and them did it early. Like, they hit all the Chitlin circuits. Now you see Gotti now is like massive star. But Gotti initially, you going to Gadsden's and stuff like that. Like, you going to the smallest places in the world.
Oh yeah.
And packing them out. Like, that's the best way to do it. You building a real crowd.
Yeah, Gotti all over in Dubai. I seen him in Hong Kong. He in some spots that they putting up a real bag for you to come out there.
I don't want to know what Ja Rule doing in Dubai for that bag though. You know what I mean?
When I'm talking about Gotti.
Oh, Gotti. Oh,
Yeah, Gotti
performing.
Yeah, he in some spots where they putting up the real bag for you to be out there.
Look, I totally believe that. So I'm impressed by that. That you saw that down the road. That let's make sure that we have plants. We have spots planted in other places, you know what I'm saying, as these other places are starting to grow, even if they are satellite, like that's still you having a presence in that place.
Oh yeah, that's what we do. You know, we set up we get the office address popping, and then we go set up like articles of organization or whatever it is to get that division going on there. It's no different than you look at like how Mercedes-Benz and Porsche, they both got their North American headquarters here in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they had a vision to take their game global. So you look at it like Samsung. We both got Samsung phones. Samsung got their North American headquarters in Jersey. You know what I mean? So it's just like when you look at a lot of these major companies, something Damon Dash said, he was just like, I respect Dane's point of view because he's just like, if you want to just be at a certain income cap, just fill your record label with a bunch of rappers. Dame was like, man, I want to be a billionaire at the end of the day, so I'm gonna do things that everybody in the community in the hip hop community ain't doing. Yeah. So it's just that vision and that foresight. When you look at how all these major companies operate, but it take time with sitting down with attorneys and with accountants and stuff like that, really figuring out, how do these major companies, how do they hold so many brands under their umbrella and things like that. Yeah. That's things I did years ago when at the height of Elite Alchemy. You know what I mean? So just really seeing past just the immediate bag and how do we look the long term.
So the work you did with Elite Alchemy, how do you feel like that work you put in and moving the company and going to those conferences and going to those festivals, like them conferences like you were speaking to me about, how did that help prepare you for what you're doing right now with Blue Dream?
Oh, it helped prepare me big time because it's like in the natural products industry it's so almost it like almost mirrors the cannabis game because it's like there's so many Me Too companies. I ain't talking about the sexual harassment shit. I'm talking about so many companies. It's like you step to their booth and they like, well, we got this vegan ice cream. It's like, what separates you cats from the two booths down? Yeah. And they can't even tell you. You know what I'm saying? I don't like these word can't, but you know what I mean? Yeah. They're not even able to tell you. You know what I mean? But it's like in the cannabis game, everybody got weed flowers on their packaging. When you look at a company like Tokyo Smoke, that's real refreshing because they came with real high-end packaging and they got acquired by Haiku Brands. Then Haiku Brands got snapped up by Canopy Growth Incorporated. So just when you look at the industry, right, it's like you look at the companies out there who's operating on a different scope and you like, okay, this company, they're going to be around for a minute. Because I used to go to trade shows. I used to go to Expo West, Expo East, and all that. And my former business partner, I used to be like, man, this company ain't going to last. Not to down talk nobody, because I'm not nobody hustle. You know what I'm saying? I want to see everybody eat. But it's just certain companies, you just like, oh, they ain't got the vision. They're gonna ship us some turmeric drinks to our store. Because I co-own a nutritional store, too, aside from the supplement brand. They're going to ship us some turmeric drinks from Queens, New York to Atlanta with one pack of dry ice. They're not thinking. They're not going to be in the game too long. Yeah. So just in the cannabis game, I just see, like Fortune magazine said like 2 years ago, this is the industry where dreadlocks meet Dolce & Gabbana. And they didn't mean it in a disrespectful way. But what they meant was so many people are still operating with black market tendencies.
Ooh, brother.
You know what I'm saying? That when you want to scale up and take this game to the next level, and there's nothing wrong with the black market.
No.
But it's just when you look at the opportunity to really blow big time, no homo, when you get a chance to really blow big time and scale up in this industry, you want to be operating on the best level you can.
And that's one of my fears when I see the cannabis industry, especially when we talk about people of color getting involved, is we are now, I feel like, getting really caught up in this whole conversation of how much money is being made, that we're not paying attention to the businesses that's making this money. You know what I'm saying? That's actually making this money. Because what I'm seeing with us is we're seeing a lot of mom and pop stores. Like you seeing like a Me having a vape brand, or a Sia having an edible brand. But that's one person. You know what I'm saying? There's no employees. There's no you have no real business. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No structure.
Yeah, and you're not really planning out to have a business. You're just kind of cool with this little niche you got, but you're not understanding that niche is going to get stomped thanks to you, because you keep elevating this conversation how much money's being made. Like, never look at Time Magazine and believe they're speaking to people of color. Like, never do that. When you see those covers talking about how much money's being made in cannabis, that's for people in Nebraska. That's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not your conversation.
And then on top of that, by having your stuff set, having your operation set up the right way, you be able to leave something to the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, I saw something yesterday that I don't know if a lot of people know, but Sortera, the company that's based here in Midtown.
You mentioned that,
Yeah, Sortera. Now their operations are in Florida. William Wrigley, the Wrigley heir, billionaire dude. He led a Series C $65 million round invested in Certera. These people see the vision, right? Yeah. But the thing about it is they were set up properly to capitalize and get to a Series C.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now the cats who form Certera, they building something they can leave to their children.
Yeah.
The cats behind Canopy Growth, the cats behind Aurora and all that, leave something they building something they can leave behind.
Let me tell you something, and that's something I'm again with me building up my own brand, I'm paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to have an audience, it's one thing to have a crowd. You know what I'm saying? Have an audience, one thing to be popular, but how are you setting up your actual business? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel again that's important why we have you up here to make sure that people are looking at the business side versus, you know what I'm saying, just I got something cool I'm doing.
Right. And see, like when we first set up Blue Dream Industry, we set up Blue Dream in February 2016. Mm-hmm. And we set the company up in the Buckhead Financial District for a reason. Operating in the financial district, people know that you're serious. They look at you different. When they see that 30326 zip code,
oh yeah,
they know that we're for real. And then we're three guys out the urban game, you know what I mean? So they're going to look at us a certain way anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when we go up in these boardrooms to talk to these people, most of the time I'm dressed like this, t-shirt and jeans. I wear a suit when I feel like it. But when I open up my mouth, this is what they want to access. Yeah. You know what I mean? The game I'm going to bring to them. But anyway, long story short, this is what it's about. Getting your trademarks on your products, getting your copyrights. I was just sitting around joking with my co-founders about, I was like, shit, I could see us at the cover of Forbes with the caption being Bud Billionaires. We ran with it and we copywrote a reality show that we launching. You know what I mean? The vape funnel. This came about because I was having issues with filling up my vaporizer pen. So then I researched the name, and this is before the holding company was even, because we were going to name the company Dank Holdings originally.
Okay. But
some cats in Colorado had the name. But it was just with a holding company, you own the rights to, when you get articles or you own the rights to the whatever that name is, whatever that LLC or incorporation name is for that state. But I was like, that's cool. I don't even want nothing that's remotely named nowhere. So Blue Dream was our favorite strain anyway. It wasn't taken, so we put the name in play in 2016. We registered a trademark on Blue Dream Industries this year, but the vape funnel is our flagship brand. It's the first trademark we ever put in place. And when we did the research, I was just like, I know I'm not the only person that's having problems filling my vape pen. Yeah. So we already had the holding company set up. Well, we went ahead and set the holding company up. Then once we had that set up, we went ahead and bought vapefunnel.com. We registered a trademark on vapefunnel. Man, we had a 2-year fight with the USPTO, with the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
What?
Over the vape funnel, because they told us we got with our attorneys. We said, yo, this is exactly how we're going to finesse the United States Patent and Trademark Office. They said, we're not going to register your trademark because it got something to do with cannabis. I know dudes who got some some of the coldest strains out there. They're not able to register no patent.
That shit piss me off sometimes. How they do that, how that happens.
But dig this. When you look up the trademark for Wiz Khalifa's Khalifa Kush, right?
Yeah.
It says it's going to be used on like cakes and brownies and pastries and shit like that. When you look up Snoop Dogg's Leaves by Snoop, it says it's going to be used on lighters. So you got to get creative. Shit, you see what it say right here, bro? It says Class 21, hand-operated spice grinders. We told the USPTO it's going to be used on spices. Shit, you got people vaporizing green tea and lavender and all that type of shit. Cinnamon. Yeah. So just, we finesse them like that.
What you're trying to do is really, and this is the best part, is you fill in the need. And
right.
You found a niche and you filled it. And
right.
We don't also do that.
Right.
Enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from there, it's funny you leading with just what I was getting ready to say. We got some people asking us, what made y'all get into cannabis? How y'all operating in cannabis in Georgia? So we started getting some of the inquiries. We set up a whole consulting division through Blue Dream Industries. So we bring companies to the table to get funded. We just signed a new client yesterday called 420 Resorts International. Their thing is they want to bring I'm not going to say they want to bring. They have the whole format and everything. They're bringing the first global cannabis-centric resort to the world. So think when you see the Steve Wynn, he got the gambling joints, and when you go to like certain places of the world, they got like Club Med and Nikki Beach in certain parts of the world. So the founders behind it, their whole thing is bringing a cannabis-centric resort to the world. I think that's dope because you could be self-contained, nobody fucking with you.
What are they trying to do with it?
Oh, they want to start the first one in Hawaii.
Of course.
So we bringing them to the table to get funding. They're looking to raise some M's. So just, we just started getting behind companies, but we just started getting behind companies that, that.
You could tell somebody from New York by what they say pause to. You know what I'm saying? Like only New York people pause. We're going to blow up big, pause. Like only New York people do that.
But, we felt like, it was such a need, like Pineapple Express. They were a consulting company. They conversely they named after a strain too. But Larry Flint from Hustler magazine. In 2016, he invested like 100 G's in them. They was trading on over-the-counter stock exchange for $1 a share. So he got 100,000 shares of their company. But they got delisted off the OTC, which is crazy. If you get delisted off the OTC, you really you fucking around. You playing games. But then, like, I guess a few things, they violated some things on.
I was about to say, I almost want to ask, but I don't want to go down that road.
Well,
like,
I guess they violated some things. So, there's a few other companies like Think Canna and a few other ones, but I'm just like, man, ain't really no cannabis consulting companies that's really, ran by no young urban guys. So we just set up a whole division through Blue Dream. That's part of, because at first we just gonna run it just the whole Blue Dream Industries LLC name is just the holding company. I was like, nah, we gonna put a registered trademark on Blue Dream Industries and go ahead and lock that so nobody else can, when you get a federal trademark, nobody can touch it for 50 states. Like, for instance, you see our tagline is true to the grind. If I hear anybody run over here yelling true to the grind, now you true to a lawsuit, homeboy. We gonna be in, we gonna be under some litigation. But
we gotta talk later, man, because I want to step to y'all about helping CashColorCannabis.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
for real.
Yeah, I'm serious, man.
Each one teach one. We gotta help each other, man. That's one thing.
That.
As black folks, we feel like a lot of times, oh, I got mine, you got to get yours. Nah, man, you're supposed to reach out and pull your brother up, man.
That's how that has to happen, man.
Yeah, shit, we had all these numbers. Everybody talking about the Black Wall Street we had in Tulsa. It was like 6 Black Wall Streets. You know what I mean? But Cash was working together, but they got infiltrated though.
You know what's real? But I ain't gonna go on that part. Let's keep this conversation on cannabis, because I was about to go down a whole nother route with Black Wall Street. Like, we could do that now. Be honest with you, man. Like, watching LeBron James open up a school should have really made a lot of people look. Because I remember, like, I went to school in Charlotte, John C. Smith University, and I remember when West Charlotte High was going through problems as far as money wise, and they was almost about to shut down. It was a lot of shit happening. And what I can remember was how many professional players who came from West Charlotte would always be at homecomings at West Charlotte High School. I mean, this is high school homecomings. You would be there for that. But when you see your school need money, y'all back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, rather than help your own school, but y'all pull up for a party. You feel me? Like, we could really invest a lot of our bread back into our communities rather than try to judge how somebody else did something or who else did it at the same time. Why don't we just all do it? You know what I'm saying? Like Herb, I have no issue with no other shows in Atlanta. Like, dog, big them up. Like, I know what I do. I know what y'all do, nigga. But as far as I'm concerned, we need more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with that.
And I feel you. I look at, like, pause once again. I look at business like this.
New York.
Like, business is like this. In the NBA, it's 30 teams, right?
32.
Well, 32 teams. Yeah, 30. It's 32 teams, and that's bad. That's my favorite sport. I should know exactly how many
It's
teams
all good.
that.
I'm a Celtics fan, so there's only one team. As far as I'm concerned,
but yeah, we might want to beat the other team.
Yeah.
Pause once again. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if the other 31 teams don't exist, ain't no league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no money to be made. Ain't no revenue being generated.
Hey,
but
that's a whole nother argument too.
But I look at it like, from a standpoint of something Suge Knight said a long time ago. If you don't own your rights to your catalog, you don't own, your copyrights, you ain't got shit. Like, you're just out here playing games.
It's levels to it, man. And it's one of the things. Another reason why I try to tread lightly again with CashColorCannabis and a lot of other things we want to do is because I know name recognition, we out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also know, again, we business wise. Like, if I want to take this to another level, there's several other things we're gonna have to do in order to do that. You know what I mean? I got to branch out. I got to get other contributors. I got to really start investing my own bread more than I've already done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a real thing.
You never go wrong investing in yourself. The thing is, when you invest in yourself and you kick your original capital in to secure, domains and secure trademarks, copyrights, whatever, it's no different than anything. If you open a store or whatever, like whatever you're doing, you know what I'm saying? If you're putting your own capital up and you got your stuff protected in a certain way and you come to an investor, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he put 10 G's of his own money, 15 G's, 20 G's, okay, we going to take him serious. He protected all his own stuff. We're going to take him serious. We're going to, because then that's another thing too. They're going to, it comes down to the whole skin in the game thing.
Yeah.
They're going to know that you're more savvy than they give you credit for being, especially because you're melanated. They're going to attempt to J jerk you anyway.
Of course. Of course.
Just with investors, their whole thing is a lot of them be wanting to swoop in and get 70% of your company, 50% of your company. I'm like, man, you serious?
Bro, I wouldn't even budge on. I was this close when somebody asked me for 5. I was like, You know what I'm saying? Like even that's kind of crazy. But 70%.
Well, sometimes it depends on how much bread they putting in. But see, it's not always just the bread though.
No,
it's what kind of investor is it? Do they understand your industry? Do they understand you? Do they understand? You know what I'm saying?
And that was the issue I had when I was talking to you off screen about the 2 people who stepped to me. Not the second one, but the first group. I was never fully sure that y'all got what we were trying to do. You was just trying to put some money down and make me a brand ambassador for your shit, which was never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what I'm not your puppet. You know what I'm saying? So
because as a partner of mine always say, he always say, he don't want to have a boss. You know, that's why he ain't taking no capital. You know what I mean? He's just doing his own thing. And
Over there.
yeah, that's exactly who I'm talking about.
I don't want to have no balls. That's how you know that Philly talk. I don't want to have no balls, man.
But it's like sometimes strategically it can make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody putting money into your campaign, but there's still a level of control they're gonna want to exert over you. Yeah. A good example is like, I say this too because I have a hand in sports entertainment. I have Rashard Simone Sports Entertainment Management is one of my brands. So I look at certain deals. I look at how cats, they might not even have the IRCR CS codes on their music. Somebody else got the IRCS codes and they getting the credit for this all this work this cat put in. But anyway, long story short, but you look at the deal Nipsey just pulled off with Atlantic. It's a straight partnership. So yeah, they put money up, but they still control all money in, control so much. So it just depends, not the control, but it just depends on the amount of leverage you're using when you take an investor on.
Yo, you know what I love about Nip? Because I fashion myself as being Nip of the cannabis industry. Like, I really want to show y'all like what I feel like my man's been doing for a while. Like, you exercising your own control. And you're right. He turned down several deals leading up to Atlantic because of how they were trying to take over control of all money in. They saw the work you put in on the ground, and rather than saying, I want to be your partner, they just said, how can we adopt this? You know what I'm saying? Right. And use the model you just used to push a bunch of bland, blah motherfuckers who nobody else give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want to have that. All money in, like I say, with Atlantic is a partnership, which is beautiful. I'm like, dog, Nip is so brilliant on so many levels, man.
Right. And see, this is the thing. In the world we in nowadays, with technology, with the advent of technology, the way it is like you can really push, your whole campaign out there a lot of times with, X amount of paper. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you get to a point where you kind of might get, where you might need a strategic situation. But it's just with streaming and everything, they was in a situation where they was able to just upload their stuff. Only thing is with Atlantic putting that bread up or any other situation, you look at Denzel Curry, he got like $1 million I forget what company, but I think they were like a subsidiary of Universal. But he got $1 million distribution deal from them. You know what I'm saying? Only thing distribution do is nowadays, it get a team of 25 or 30 people behind you, pause once again, working on uploading your music and getting you in the top global 50 or whatever.
To do the stuff you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's basically you're building your team. Like, to do the shit that I don't want to do no more. Like, I don't want to spend, like, I joke a lot about Spotify. Like, I think Spotify's a joke, but I do feel like my podcast needs to be on there because a lot of people use this joke. You know what I'm saying? Even I make my playlist off this joke. But at the same time, when I look on how to upload, like, they want me to upload episode by episode by episode by episode. We have over 100 episodes right now. Like, I'm not doing that. I'd have to, again, pay some more money to some of these other aggregators in order to get it on there, which I'm about to do. Like, I'm going to satisfy some people. But yeah, going back to that, like, it's about having that team. Like, I don't necessarily want to do that, but I'm willing to pay money to have a team to do that.
Right. And see, the thing is like, in this industry, right, like, you got products like the MyDX. A lot of people ain't familiar with it. MyDX is a little technology product where you could put a nug or some gas in the MyDX. It could tell you the exact genetics, all that.
Solid, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you got that kind of technology coming to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Mold has been a big issue for the past 2 years. Quality control. Yeah. So you got, opportunities like that. Man, one of the biggest opportunities in cannabis is private security.
How many times we talk about that on here? Why am I not seeing brothers take their homeboys and turn them into security people, man, and make that bread? Like, I'm so mad I'm not seeing that.
My brother, my blood brother, my oldest brother, he's still back in my hometown, and he has a security company. And I was telling him, I was giving him that game about a year and a half ago. He's like, man, you got my wheel spinning, baby, bro. And I was like, yo, I'm telling you, you got the certifications, you got the teams.
For real.
It's a white guy that has a company. They call like MEIBS or something like that, bro. But they got former Brinks trucks, right? They paint them because you can buy a lot of them trucks for like half price or whatever. Yeah. So they paint the trucks black. They paint a silver cannabis leaf on the side of the truck, right? He got like former jackals and dudes that work for like Blackwater.
Exactly.
Like
you need some real people because you can't really murder.
You need cannabis about that life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what they do is they come to his operation exists in 8 states. They come to your growing operation or your dispensary. They pick up your money. They literally take it to the facility and they wash the money to get the smell off from the cannabis, from the terpene profiles off the money, right? Because that's another thing that a lot of the tellers at the banks are saying. Another reason they didn't want to take cannabis deposits.
Take this money, man.
But dig it though. But this cat found the lane. His company do $8 million a year. It need to be more of us.
Bro, like that. Look. I had when Freeway was on this show. Freeway Ricky Ross was on this show. I had that same conversation. Like, dog, I'm in hip hop most of my life, and I see brothers take dudes straight off the street and turn them into whole security companies and make money like that.
Yep.
How am I staring at a group of black people in the industry that they're clearly trying to price you out of, not trying to figure out creative ways to do this shit other than making edibles.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like serious. You can't have a security company. Like that's how.
I mean, security is a wave. IT, you know what I'm saying? Like security on a technological aspect.
Yeah,
that's a major wave. A relative of mine down in Louisiana, he's like a 20-year veteran in that industry, and I just spoke to him right before I came here. He's setting up to be offering IT and supporting services, for the cannabis industry. So good things. More of us starting to go in that lane.
Bro, it's a needed thing, man. It's a needed for us to start looking outside the box for real. Because when we talk about ancillary businesses around cannabis, again, like there's so many, and I know that people often say, man, look, from investments to, I done spoke to an accountant who don't smoke weed, she's in this now, lawyers, plenty of them, educators. There's plenty of ways for you to get this without having to get some cannabis butter and without having to sell a plant. Like plenty of ways. Matter of fact, more lucrative ways of anything.
Oh yeah, way more. And then you ain't got to worry about the 280E taxation. For those of y'all don't know about the 280E taxation, that's when they ain't gonna let you put no money in the bank. You're gonna have a hard time getting a bank account, and then you ain't able to write off none of your expenses. As a businessman, that's one thing I love, is being able to write off my expenses. My phone, I ain't had a phone in my own name since 2013. This phone is registered to Blue Dream Industries LLC. We got a T-Mobile account in Blue Dream Industries LLC.
Let me tell you, mine's about to be in Invisible Man Media LLC's name after what I had to deal with today.
That's the way to do it.
Not dealing with T-Mobile no more.
You're gonna be on the phone a whole lot to transact business. So why not write it off?
Write it off.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing. You go out and you have lunch. You go have lunch with your lady or whatever. Have dinner with your lady. Pay with your business debit card. That's a 50% write off.
Yeah.
Go get groceries for the crib. That's 100% write off. All you gotta have is one employee. QuickBooks will tell you that. Bro, Straight up.
Love this conversation, man. Let's talk about the Cannabis Diversity Alliance. Like, what exactly is that, and how did you find yourself involved?
The way that came about was some associates that I know up in Aurora, Colorado, and I think I'm actually like the only male that's one of the because I'm the president of the Georgia chapter. I'm the only man that's like one of the top people that's running things. When they hit me up, they just seen the moves that I was making, because I was already cool with Jessica and Anna, and then Tamika, she's out in LA.
out in Colorado.
Yeah, and then Tamika, she's out in LA.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is just like it ain't nothing but about 1% black participation, actually less than that.
Yeah.
And it's because last year a study came out with Marijuana Business Magazine, and they were saying, it's 17%, minority participation in the cannabis industry.
Which where?
Only thing that mean is that they're not white males, so it could be, I think actually now
it could be Asian.
It could be Asian. Yeah. But I think actually gay people qualify as minorities too. So all they're basically just saying it's 17% people that are not straight white males that are in the E-level and C-level ranks of this cannabis industry.
All right, well, high five.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, high five.
But at the same time, though, it was a lot of women that were in this minority group that were being E-level and C-level leaders. You know what I mean? So just like, but when it comes to people that's, that look like you and I, young black men, it's like, what about us? What about our representation? You know what I mean? So I feel like, it's one thing to be in something for the money, which I'm on in Blue Dream Ministries. I'm in the cannabis game for the bread, but I'm a philanthropist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always given money back to the community. I've always given money to libraries. I give money to food pantries and stuff like that in real situations in the community. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't, in my hometown, like people that was in bad situations literally just gave bread out of my own pocket a lot of times, and then and not just giving the money, but then going and physically getting involved and helping people rebuild stuff, and helping go and volunteer at the food pantries and stuff like that. But I feel like this time around we got an opportunity in this industry that we've never really had in any other industries. This industry is growing up and developing in the time of social media, in the time of the advent of big time technologies, right? Where cats can really cap. So it's just like, if I understand all the stuff I understand about how to go global and how to, position yourself in the industry and how to set your business up the right way. A lot of people don't even know. Like I got partners of mine, I ain't gonna say no names, but I got some, some pretty well-known musician friends of mine, and you look up their trademarks. I chewed a few of them out. I'm like, damn, why is your trademark registered to you as your personal name? If somebody want to get at you, we live in a real society, a real litigious society, where if somebody want to get at you and they see you hold personal assets, you need to be doing like, the Rockefellers and the other white people is doing, and get as much stuff out your own name and hold it in a way where you're protecting yourself. So just, things like that. I want to be able to give people that kind of game. And just be able to pull more people that look like me into this industry so they can really eat. It's a time like none other. You know what I mean? So when they tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "Yo, we want you to be the chapter of the Georgia, the president of the Georgia chapter," I said, so let's do it. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, you look at how much of a presence that black folks we have in Atlanta, just Atlanta alone, not even the whole state of Georgia, but just here in Atlanta alone. You know what I mean? I was like, why not?
Yeah. So how's the growth coming for the Alliance? Like, have you been able to find new members, or how is that going right now for you?
Oh yeah, we picking up on average just like 2-3 people a month that we prospecting. You know what I mean? Just like stateside in Georgia. Mm-hmm. The Alliance, we've got 7 different chapters right now. Actually, no, 8. Okay. We got because New Mexico's on deck, so we got 8.
That's what's up, man. Well, congratulations to that. I don't know Anna personally, but I do follow. She follows me, and we follow each other, I guess, on Instagram. Yeah. So I know she exists. Yeah. So that's crazy when you said her name. So congratulations on that. I did want to know what the affiliation was, because we hear a lot of organizations popping up, and I'm not necessarily sure what all of them necessarily do. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like, not to like, saying throw dirt on nobody, but
I feel you on
it's kind of hard to figure out what everybody does when everybody's having the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? And charging the same amount of money. Like, right. To walk in this room and have this conversation. So it's crazy. Like, what does everybody do here, man? The future of Georgia. You know what I mean? I had a good conversation today with a friend of mine, and we were discussing the future of Georgia. And he asked me, where do you see Georgia going as far as when it comes to cultivation, dispensaries, opening up even more access for medical marijuana patients? Where do you see that going within the next few years? And my personal answer was, shockingly, if you'd have asked me last year, I would have said nowhere. But after last year, I'm seeing a lot of shit happen that I would have never guessed would have happened in Georgia. Where do you feel, like, how far along do you feel we are as far as in Georgia to seeing cultivation, to seeing dispensaries, to seeing more access for medical marijuana patients? And when I say more access, I mean being able to go get the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you feel like we are right there with that? How much of it, and I add another one to that. How much of that is hinged on what's going to happen in November?
I think, man, probably like 60% of it is hinged on what's going to happen in November. Yeah. But I think, like, when the powers that be, we got a lot of people that definitely don't look like us and they don't think like us sitting in that gold dome. Yeah. These people.
There's a lot of people who look like us who don't think like us and don't. And pretend.
Well,
all day they not.
It's a lot of that, but I'm saying, like, the people that control the majority of the power. Yeah, man. A lot of these people, man, their money was made in ways off the backs of a lot of people that look like us a long time ago.
True.
And these people, they concept of money and they concept of, the access and what it could do for people just on the medical level. And I ain't talking about recreational. I'm an evangelist for 2 things, for 2 things: the recreational side of the industry and the ancillary side. But I think when they really look at what it could do for the state coffers, then they're going like, oh, okay. Like, see, some of these people, they money so long that, like, you know what I mean? Like, black people, we look at $1 million like that's a check. That ain't no damn money. In the bigger scheme of things, in the real world, that ain't shit. $1 million ain't shit.
Bro, we got proved that one day in speech class. My man, they gave us an assignment. What would you do with $1 million? And I watched my man Andre, and not you, Destin Show. I'm not a part of the name Andre. I watched my man Andre literally say, all right, what does this woman do with $1 million? I'm gonna buy my mama a house, then I'm gonna buy me a house, then I'm gonna buy me and my sister's cars and shit. And then he goes, and she says, you already broke. You know what I'm saying? You spent that $1 million already. We do look at that like that's some real money. That's not real money.
Right. Like, you look at it like what's his name? Dan Cathy, right? Truett Cathy's son, from Chick-fil-A. They put $60 million up to gentrify Vine City. So they already you know what I'm saying? Like, they thinking 59 times beyond what we thinking.
Yeah.
So straight up. But I think when you look at it like this, right? Georgia is part of the Bible Belt, but you look at it's the home of the strip club also.
Yeah.
So it's like those 2 vices are gonna have to coexist at some time. And when these people really start to see what they can do at the state level, monetarily wise, I think it's gonna make a lot of them crack. They're gonna change their viewpoint.
I'm with Dr. Hodge right there. Recreational cannabis in Georgia sounds like so crazy to say out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure how quick that's going to happen. The medical side, though, is already going through on a lot of levels. And I feel like we got to watch this develop first before we jump on recreational off rip. See how Florida is going to work with their medical. Because I feel like that's going to be another influence when it comes to Georgia. Like, Georgia cannot stand pat and watch Florida actually make real money and not do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that, again, will be another step towards getting to recreational. But I feel like your first our first objective here is to expand medical marijuana as far as not just ailments, but how people could access it. Like for you to not be able to really access it is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a pointless law.
Right. And a buddy of mine, he's a lobbyist. We talk about this all the time. And he's just like, man, I'm sitting down there with the red tie wearers. Man, this definitely ain't gonna happen no time soon. Yeah. But I think it's gonna take a little bit more time. But I just think when they really, really see what can come through, like look at how long they've been going back and forth on the whole casino tip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they still are, aren't they? Like, do we have a casino in Georgia?
No.
I don't know. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. They keep going back and forth on it. Yeah. But I just feel like, when you look at certain places, you look at D.C., right? D.C. got recreational situations, but there's so many gray areas, though. You know what I mean? Like, so I think, with the state of Georgia, right, they're real progressive on a whole lot of things, like, wooing different companies here in different sectors of certain industries.
True.
To really come here and really make things pop. Like, look at, now Midtown is known as Transaction Alley. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But, it's like, look at how fintech jumped off. Look how AI is jumping off. Yeah. So I feel like cannabis is gonna have his space pretty soon, but it's just gonna really take them people really looking at what is gonna come through on a financial tip. I don't think it's, I think it's gonna, November will probably be a situation like a spearhead where it kind of gets everything kind of more so in motion.
Yeah.
But it just, with Atlanta or Fulton County or whatever, with the decriminalization, well, Clarkston was actually the first metro city to do that.
Ted, was it Clark? Ted?
Yeah. But when you look at, like you said, with Florida and certain other southern states that's kind of bucking the trend a little bit, you look at kind of some activity going on in South Carolina. They keep throwing these bills up. The state of Georgia is going to look at that, and they're going to, and then Atlanta's really going to be like, yo, we want our money. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at everything else they allow to go on. You know what I mean? It's like, the music is already running through here, the movies and everything is running through here now. So it's like, and then you look at it now, what Forbes was saying, like over the next 3 years, recreational cannabis is going to bring in like $7 billion a year to California. Yeah. Well, I think to LA alone, it's going to rival porn.
Man, I took Major Ted Terry. There you go. I'm sorry, man. I thought Ted Terry. Thank you, Dr. Hodge, man.
Yeah, he's on it.
Dr.
Doc is on it.
Doc always on it. Doc always on it. Hey, can somebody run downstairs and grab a package for us, man? If please. Thank you, Ms. Making a Magazine, for looking out for the brother real quick, man. All right, so we got a couple more minutes of the show. Tell us tell somebody how they can get in touch with you if they do want to learn a little bit more about Blue Dream. They want to learn about just more of what you do, or even sit down and have a consultation with you to see how you can help them kind of build up their business.
You can get in touch with me, my first name, Aubrey, at bluedreamindustries.llc.com via email. You can call the office, 888-540-6658. Shit, I didn't give you my personal cell, 404-513-4851. And you can hit me on Instagram, Private Jet Papi.
So, before we leave, Private Jet Papi.
Yeah.
I'm on your Instagram. I'm just seeing you on these private jets, bro. Like, how can I get down? Like, is there an Uber thing situation going on? Like, can I go get a car from CVS?
Well, JetSmart is one of the companies that I use. They're like the Uber private jets. Okay. Then I got a few connections because one of my cousins, he's a private pilot. He's been on for 20 years. A few of my relatives down in Louisiana got their own planes.
We got to build because me and my man E, Big Bowls Paws, shout out to Big Bowls Paws. We're planning an actual tour. Like, we're gonna do a podcast tour. We're gonna take both our shows on the road and hit a couple of spots. And I'm thinking how much I hate driving places. And I was like, Private Jet Papi be knowing private jets, man. Like, maybe you can hook us up with a private jet Uber or something.
I'm connected in that lane, man. Once again, see, the thing is, like, I ain't flown private. My pops was in the hospital in 2015 and back in my hometown. And that's the last time I flew commercial.
Really?
Yeah, because at the airport, man, the commercial airport, you getting harassed, you getting fondled. I'm a grown ass man. A few times I was at flying out of Hartsfield, and then they running their hand inside of my shirt. I'm like, my man, why are you so close to me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
doing all that extra, really?
Yeah, and then like I was in
I can't explain to you how many times I've smuggled weed on a plane, and they've never done any of that to me. I can't explain. Ask Danny. Danny was so nervous about doing it. I was like, bro, I ain't gonna hype you up to do nothing, and then you get arrested, but I ain't never got arrested. like they took liquor out my bag before they took weed out.
And then like I was in John Wayne Airport out in Orange County, like I think 2014. Then they ran like this wand across. They pulled me to the side, ran this wand across my hand, put it in this thing. I'm like, man, damn. And I'm like, man, I need to find a solution.
Bro, I don't know if y'all ever seen was it Philadelphia's Most Wanted video? Can you get across the border?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like that every time I'm in the airport, bro. I'm like that every time I'm in the airport. Every time I get past the checkpoint, I'll be like, Mike, Vic, how all y'all keep getting caught, man? I'm just walking in here with loud all on me.
But see, that's the
like
thing.
Shit.
That's the thing I love about the private airport, man. You pull up to Peachtree DeKalb.
Yeah.
It's like we got McCollum. We got like 4 private airports here in Atlanta, but Peachtree DeKalb is the best one for the volume. You pull up 15 minutes, 30 minutes before your flight, and if you got enough clout and you got security clearance, you pull your whip right up to the jet, get the fuck out, get on the plane. They pull the door back up, and they say, and they'll even like say for instance, say you love Popeyes, right, or you love. What's another restaurant? Say you love McCormick and Schmick's.
Okay. They'll
have that shit for you on the plane. You can get it where they can get it set up where they have that, whatever you want to eat on the plane.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to be Uber Xing all the way up to the gate, get up out of Camry, and jump on a private jet. Bet you I do, man. You better bet that now.
It's just so much easier, man. Then it's like if you're on a tour or something like that, or you're in a situation where you might need to be to 3 or 4 different cities in a day.
Yeah.
If you on Delta, man, you're going to have to change, reroute, and do all this other shit. On the jet, you're like, man, I need to go to Tallahassee. I need to be in Nashville. I need to be back in Atlanta by 3.
Bro, we gonna talk after this show, man. I appreciate you for coming out.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me, bro.
One more time, let everybody know where they can follow you, or how they connect with you online.
Oh, on Instagram, on Private Jet Papi. You can reach out to me via email, Aubrey at Blue Dream Industries with the S, Blue Dream Industries LLC.com if you want to just hit me up on email. The office number is 888-540-6658. My cell is 404-513-4851. And that's it. That's pretty much. That's all my best ways to contact me.
Word up, man. Appreciate everybody for, I guess, turning in on Instagram Live. Hey, Best of the West. Appreciate the comments, man. Follow us, man. It's definitely, we love to hear some more conversation from you.
Oh yeah, and make sure not to forget this. Make sure y'all follow Blue Dream Industries on Instagram. Blue Dream Industries LLC.
Please do. And that's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level conversation for tonight. Next week I got a special guest. I got my man Jay Wise coming through. If y'all don't know Jay Wise, well, Atlanta, you should know who Jay Wise is, because he's bringing y'all a whole new sound of Atlanta, courtesy of Johnny Apollo, Sammy Serve, and a lot of new cats bringing in this thrash rap, man. I'm loving it. I don't know if I can actually go to a show, because I feel like I'm getting too old to be running around crowds like that and be jumping in the mosh pits and stuff. But I'm loving the energy I'm seeing. Wise gonna be in here next week. He gonna bring some friends with him. We gonna have a lot of smoke in the air, and we gonna talk a lot of music and talk about this Atlanta scene that we got down here that's blooming. So stay tuned. Get the Live Hip Hop Daily app as always, and watch us at 9 p.m. every Tuesday. And subscribe to the Cash Color Cannabis podcast on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and anywhere you stream music. This is Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation. We out.